Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. This is the Big Data Beards Beat the Beards Championship Racing Series happening, coinciding with Splunk's .conf 20, the virtual conference for Splunk. And we are the Big Data Beard team. I'm Corey Minton. I'm joined by my buddy in VR over here, Brett Roberts.
How's it going, everyone?
And joining us around the world for a truly global racing series, we've got Kyle Prinz joining us from Sydney, Australia. Kyle, how early in the morning is it right now, buddy?
It's 4 a.m. But
It's a perfect
what's
time for
conf
racing.
without one late night, right? Yeah, so you,
Uh,
you might as well.
that's exactly right. And Tom West joining us from the UK. Tom, how you feeling today for today's final in the Beat the Beard Championship Series?
I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely.
Excellent. Well, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that they can check out the racing action over at bigdatabeard.com/VR2C from all the virtual race2.conf races that we did. But for today's race, we have a live action race hosted on the iRacing platform where the Big Data Beard team is going to be racing against some Splunkers, partners, and customers that are going to see if they can beat us on the track. And to win, they just have to beat all the beards. So if anybody can beat all the beards, they're going to get a special prize package from us. And we're also going to be splunking all the racing data from the team and from the previous races. You can check that out by going to bigdatabeard.com/VR2C. So now here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get in and we are going to start the qualifying action. You can see some of the team is already on track doing exactly that. But we are going to be commentating the race while actually competing in the action. So we're going to get on track for qualifying. Qualifying, for those that you don't know, it is basically just a time for us to go put out a fast lap. And our fastest lap is recorded for our lineup positions on the grid whenever we're ready to go racing. How is qualifying going for you, Brett? How you feeling, buddy?
Well, I'm just trying to get into the qualifying right now, but I think I'm gonna put down some pretty good times.
Yeah. Kyle Prinz, what's qualifying strategy for you? Do you come out hard in that first lap and really try to beat in the tires to get them warm, or do you just kind of cruise? What's your plan?
It's not exactly the going fast that's hard. It's the staying on the track and turning. That's the tricky part. It's throwing down a clean lap while still getting these tires warmed up. So the first bit is just playing it loose and then gradually picking it up in speed. That's what I have to do, and it seems to work okay for me. We'll see where it goes. I think wherever we qualify, that's all right. But consistency in the race is really the key to win there.
Absolutely. Well, one thing I forgot to mention, we are at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which is virtually, of course, and we are racing on what is known as the Road Course Combined Circuit, which is, if you can see on the screen, we've got the race goes around a good portion of the oval, but then in that back straightaway, we tuck in and we go to the infield for some infield racing action, a classic sort of road course scenario, which really, challenges the drivers to both, sort of this high-speed NASCAR style bank and straightaway turning to, really road course driving, which requires a lot more finesse. And one of the things that is totally true about the Las Vegas road course is that if you set a single tire off track, it is like glass. Tom West, how are you doing keeping it on track, buddy?
That turn to come off the oval into the infield went and slowed me right down and affected my qualifying time greatly, but seems to have set a good time, so I'm not going to complain.
There you go. That's respectable. Well, so far it looks like Jason Stein is the leader in the polls, putting down a 1:11.2. That is a rocking good time. We saw in practice somebody, I think John Hayward, maybe break into the 1:09. So we'll see if they can get them even faster. I'm guessing the average lap's going to be around that 1:11, 1:12 for our top performers today. Certainly not going to be my time, I don't believe. Oh, stay on track. Did I just get an incident? Oh, so one of the things that's talked about is that you do need to go to clean lap, which means you can't have any incident points. And looks like I was able to just barely get in there. Incident points. Brett, why don't you tell the team a little bit about what incident points are and how you might accrue those?
Yeah, absolutely. So incident points, pretty much whenever you bump into someone, crash someone, or go off course, you accumulate incident points based on how much damage you caused or the how much you went off track. And the more instant points you occur, the when you get to a certain amount, I think it's 60 for this race, you actually have to go into the pit and do a slow drive through of the pit in order to clear those instant points, or you'll be disqualified. Now,
Gotcha.
let me ask you guys this: are you racing with other people on the track right now?
No, quali I think is with your individual on track.
So I did a lap, and then it said you're done, and then it's
Yeah,
not showing me a time.
It's 4 laps maximum. So once you've completed 4 laps, they kick you.
That's weird. Mine says 1 lap, so that's
Interesting.
So I did not get a qualifying time because I did 1 lap as a full tire lap and no time.
Uh-oh. So you're going to start in the back, and
Oof.
I'm... Oh, no, going off track.
Yeah, Brett, I'm on lap 2 out of 1 with a checkered flag, and I'm just still
Yeah.
racing. I'm assuming it'll kick me out of here eventually, right?
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
said I'm done after 1 and brought me into the weight screen. So we'll see. Hopefully I get a race with you all today.
Oh, I'm sure you will. It'll be fine. It's this iRacing platform is quite interesting. It's really not a game. It is an actual simulator. For those of you who haven't had a chance to try, it's very different from if you've played, Forza or, even Project Cars. I think probably is the closest thing to it. But it's a proper simulator with rules enforced on the drivers that try to keep things virtually safe, but to be very consistent with how you would interact and drive a car on an actual racetrack in a sanctioned event. So you got to really pay attention to the rules. I've struggled with things like speeding in the pits and getting penalties. Are there any other areas of struggle that you guys have kind of had to learn as you've gotten into iRacing?
I think
I
car
think-
selection's a big one.
Oh, okay, let's go there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody noticed, there's been 3 races in the Beat the Beards Racing Series, and I have officially raced 3 different cars in this series. And some may say it's ADD, and I struggle with that. Some may say it's just, I'm trying to project my challenges on the course onto the car,
Mm-hmm.
thinking that another car will fix it. But today is really, really about just honoring my family heritage. So my family owned a Ford dealership for more than 40 years. My grandfather owned it, and then his brother owned it and continued to own it until it closed recently. Small town automotive dealership. And my grandfather was a car dealer in the 60s when Ford was in its heyday of battling, for world supremacy in racing. If you may know, the Ford versus Ferrari movie documents a lot of the tales of Ford trying to beat Ferrari and at Le Mans. And so I always heard those stories growing up. And so today I'm in a Ford GT. Brett, tell us about your BMW. Do you have a heartfelt story on why you're driving that one?
It's honestly the only car that I can drive without crashing into the wall on every turn. So let's just go with what works. Well, I'll tell you, I was doing some reading on rankings of the GT3 class and what the community thinks for iRacing the best cars are. And it was actually really surprising what the top 5 were, again, according to this one specific article. But I do feel that because all the tracks are different, this one being an oval coupled with the infield, Corey, you might be right in picking a different car based on the track that you're driving, and hopefully the Ford works out for you today.
Oh, well, tell me. I want to know what are the top 5.
Yeah, so number 5 was the BMW GT3. Number 4 was the Ferrari. Number 3 was the Porsche. And then it was the Audi. And can we guess what the number 1 was?
Oh, it's got to be the Merc.
It was the Merc, yes. I was
Yeah.
surprised the McLaren wasn't on there, actually.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
I wonder what the selection criteria was for that particular race or for particular opinion piece.
I think it was ease of driving and coupled with speed, but really just how comfortable the car is on the track. And I think the Merc is, or the McLaren is a little bit more challenging to drive. I can't drive. I had to go to the Beamer because of how easy the Beamer is to drive. So,
Well, folks, as you can see, me and Brett are actually on a patio in Florida. So we're going to be fighting with some humidity in these VR headsets. I don't know if setting up outside was the greatest idea I've ever had, but it's luckily there's a sweatband in these headsets that will hopefully keep it out of our eyes. Westy, are you're driving in screens, correct? You're not doing VR?
Yeah, so that presents, I guess I don't have the same challenge as you from that. However, one thing that becomes a very limiting factor is that you've got a very straight field of vision. So a few times we've had incidents where I can't see left or right and have nudged people out of the way. Cough, Brett. Cough.
We've all been subject to your nudging, Westy.
It's a very
Yes,
polite way of saying crashed.
I benefited from it. It wasn't a crash for me. It's a nudge.
Absolutely.
Rubbing is racing.
Looks like Jason Stein's going to hold on to that pole position unless Hayward can come throw another lap in. But that is a pretty impressive set of lap times.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be rather easy to beat the Beards given mine and Brett's qualifying time here. We'll have to
boys.
Yeah,
see what
you
we
didn't get
can do.
that time either.
All right, so here's how
No!
this works, folks. We are gridding up, and gridding up means that we're getting in line in our positions that we've qualified in. And oh, look, there's Steve Dvorak right beside me in the race. Welcome, Steve. We've got Jason Stein, John Hayward, Ricardo Castillo in the 1, 2, 3 position. Tom West, pretty fast beard there, buddy. Hopefully you can run consistent laps for us and represent us well. Stephen Ludke of Splunk fame joining us. Niall Clark, thanks for being here. And I think we've also got Nate McCurvey and Steve Dvorak, some other cool Splunk folks with us today. It's going to be a fun field of racers. Now, what happens here, folks, is we're going to have everybody grid up, and then the pace car is going to take us around for what looks to be a full lap around the track. Everybody's going to stay in their line and position here, and then the leader, Jason Stein, is going to have the honor of kind of setting the pace for the race right out of the gate, and we'll see how it shakes out. One of the things that we've talked about over and over again is cold tires and not having a first lap disaster. Brett, I'm curious, I'll start with you. What do you think the keys for today's race of beating the Beards is?
Staying off that gravel, Corey. That stuff is like glass, as you mentioned, and if you get into that, you're going to have a really bad time trying to get back onto the track.
So Tom West, what is your key to maintaining position and maybe protecting the Beards from being beaten?
Well, from my perspective, it's it's getting around the first lap quick without incident. That's a big one and always a problem for me, which hasn't really materialized in this series, which is kind of nice. But I think it's quite telling going back to the car choices that you were talking about. The top 3 are all Mercedes, so it'd be interesting to see how that plays out, and how, whilst the Mercedes may have gone and put down a faster lap, whether that translates into consistency throughout the race, because as Brett's gone and mentioned, the sand is like glass, and I know that the Mercedes has got quite a vicious kick to it, so if you downshift too early, then you're certainly going to be in trouble around here.
Yeah, that's actually, I read the release notes for the patch that was released today on iRacing, and it talked about that downshift kick, and they've actually tuned it to where it's not quite as violent of a downshift kick in the current patch release. So maybe that'll help that one with the speed perspective. Kyle Prinz, what are you thinking? I know it's 4 a.m. Hopefully you've got you a little coffee in you. What are you thinking in terms of your keys to trying to get by this beautiful GT40 and beat the Beards?
Oh, it's absolutely just going to be a mental game. I'm going to get in your head, and you're going to put yourself out of the race. That's it. Completely it. Yeah.
In the war of wits, you are unarmed.
Oh, he's not wrong. It's hurtful, but it's true. Well, I'll tell you what, this Las Vegas track is going to be interesting. It's gonna, I think, take its toll on all of us.
Yeah, this was a favorite of mine when we were doing the virtual race to comp. However, I didn't have a VR headset, so this is actually my first time racing this track in VR, and it is a completely different experience. So we'll see how I go here. I'm not exactly too confident in my performance today, but I have high hopes.
What was quite interesting when we were doing the virtual racer.com, the pace lap, it certainly went and stretched the field quite significantly, and then depending on whether you were left or right when it came to the start, it had quite a big impact as well in final position. So it'll be interesting to see whether that plays out the same as well.
Well, I actually just bumped the wall. That was awesome.
I saw that. Jumped out right in front of you, didn't it, Corey? I'm already in your head, bud.
Already in my head. Hopefully it didn't affect the steering or anything. It's just cosmetic. Oh, that was not a good move. Oh, hit me. This is the bunch of nonsense. Oh.
It's Jason Stein and the Batmobile up there, right?
Yeah. Batman's taking off. All right, he's away. He's not gone full speed. It's a green track, folks. We are away and racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. No first turn losers here, hopefully. Everybody's being cautious. Look at this. Cautious. Oh, watch out, boys and girls. Bunching up in the turn. Now we come out onto the to the high-speed portion of the track. We'll really let these GT3s turn loose. And let's see if that Ferrari's got enough to keep up. Maybe a little Ford versus Ferrari here between me and Niall. Maybe the Ford's got him like he did in the 60s. Maybe he'll be able to overtake him. We'll see.
We had a little bit of a spin out on the back, just going onto the oval there, Corey. A couple cars
oh, no,
taking that.
Oh, no. I've got full spin.
Listen, Corey, again, it's a mental game. I'm in your head right where I want to be. And Niall's spin out too.
Yeah, Niall's turned down into me, and I dropped into the apron. And when I got in the apron, I just lost it completely. Well, at least I got him taken out too.
Another 3 cars passed.
Oh no!
So that's 2 of the
It's
Mercedes
crazy.
taking each other out. That's
Ah.
me now chasing down Jason Stein, I think.
And Kyle's spinning out as well.
Yeah, I got
I
a little.
I might be the
little
number 2
bump on
beard
the
right
back
now.
end.
Coming by you, Kyle. Let's have some fun
Yeah.
here, boys.
I was racing a little conservative, and somebody didn't appreciate it, so they gave me a polite bump forward.
A little bump out of the way. A little how do you do?
Yeah.
Well, rubbing
Yeah.
is racing here, boys and girls. That's going to happen from time to time.
That's right. I think my
Oh,
movie.
come on! Oh, gracious. I was trying to stay on that inside and just got a little loose.
I could hear you, Corey, all the way from my car.
Oh, man. Look at Brett. Is Brett the fast? No, Tom West is in second still. So Tom is protecting the beards, the sanctity of the beards. Jason Stein, pilot of the Buttercup car many a times throughout the race, and the Intel car, stand in a few times. Looks like he's continued to put down 115 is pretty far off the qualifying pace, but that probably has a lot to do with all the traffic we're getting engaged in here. And that entrance coming off of the straightaways is just comic action to see people plant straight in the wall. I saw Peggy go, or Peggy Niall. The fun story. We had some amazing sponsors for the virtual race.com, and one of our sponsors had a representative named Peggy who was helping us coordinate all the activities, and she set up the iRacing account for one of our sponsor cars, and they ended up not having a driver from the sponsoring company that could join us for the races, and so we had our one of Tom West's good buddies, Niall Clark, jump in and race with us as Peggy, and so every time on the scoreboard that we would look up, it would say Peggy, and so we just began referring to Niall as Peggy. So sorry for the slip there, Niall. I credit you properly that you are Niall Clark, not Peggy today.
Just as a quick update, because it's not going to be for much longer. At the moment, nobody is beating the beards.
Woo, Tom West, you go, boy. Protect the beards.
I would also like to apologize to Mercedes that bumped into me earlier. I accidentally repaid the favor, and I don't think they came out well. So I apologize for the dirty racing on my end there.
Oh no!
Oh, another spin out. Oh,
Kyle's taking people out for the fun of it now, huh?
Oh man, it is Friday morning at 4 a.m. Kyle's living for the weekend.
That's awesome. Yeah, my car is not running as it was originally manufactured to. My steering wheel is at about a 130 position to keep it straight, which is not as bad as it's been in the past, but it's not enough to go in and pit. Now, if you do get damage, folks, on these cars, you can actually do something called a fast repair. So you can pull into the pit in iRacing, and we get 2 basically fast repair credits for the race, which means you can get back in the racing action quickly. Today's race is 30 minutes long, so we shouldn't have a necessity.
and it has to be towed.
Oh no!
So I buried it in the tires.
Oh, well, I am towed, and everything I did there was for naught.
Oh, I think the beards are going to get whipped today if we keep this up, because I can barely drive my car into the pits, and it's just a comical. back and forth trying to get this thing into the pits.
Yeah, Beat the Beards is not becoming as elite of a title as we were initially expecting it to be out of today's performance.
And on top of that, I sped in the pits, so I've got a 40-second penalty to send it out.
Well, you'll be with me because I have a minute 30 left on my telling.
Oh no, this is not looking good. It looks like we've got 4 cars in the pit. No, let's see. Just you and I in the pits. Jason Stein back in the lead, putting a lead on Tom West.
I hit the tires. I was too late in the braking, coming off the oval into the infield, and needed to reverse.
Oh goodness! All right, now.
But folks, just for everyone's awareness, it does seem that my very unusual line of staying really close to the inside is proving to pay as far as the time difference goes, because I'm catching up when we're going there.
Well, in another chain of events of just absolute not being in the mind game, and Kyle absolutely getting in my head. I don't know why you're on my team. We're trying to not let people beat the Beards, but you've gotten in my head, bro. I sped out of the pits. So not only did I speed in, I sped out, so I have to go in for another penalty.
Well, I'll still be here, Corey, so we'll go out together.
Oh, are you still towing?
25 seconds.
Oh, no.
Everything's
Just
unchecked.
In the great words of Ricky Bobby, you're not first, you're last.
That is true.
Well, I might actually be last anyway. That may actually happen.
Corey, this is just not your track, bud. You did not have a good showing on the virtual race as well.
No, let's go back and talk about things that I'm good at. Do we want to talk about Tsukuba for a little while?
I want to hear more about Vegas.
It's
what
been
happened
24
at Vegas,
hours
Corey?
since Tsukuba talked, so absolutely.
Yeah, what happened there with Vegas? I'm pretty proud of Vegas. We can keep talking about Vegas. I think I had a 3rd place showing there. It was my only podium. But
I'm pretty sure Tom West took me out in Vegas.
No, wasn't me. In fact, you took yourself out. You were about to overtake me for, I think it was 2nd place, and you broke your steering.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I'm really not good at Vegas. It's actually representative of my my actual feeling about Las Vegas. As much as I love .conf, Vegas always seems to take me down a peg or two. Man, this racetrack is doing the same thing. So let's check in on the standings. We've got Jason Stein just keeping it a little bit ahead of Tom West. Stephen Ludke in 3rd place, keeping ahead of Kyle Prinz there. So we've got a few Beards trying to hold on,
and there's
boys.
a crash into the wall on that turn, and it was a rough one.
Who all got tied up in that one, I wonder?
That was Matt and maybe Ricardo.
Oh no. Well, if you guys are curious, the pits are comfortable.
Yeah. Very hospitable today.
Yes. Very hospitable.
I am having trouble with the understeering on this car today. I think I'm gonna have to later on this weekend get it back out on the test track and see if I can do some adjustments here, because I am just struggling to keep it straight on. The power is there, but the finessing is all donuts right now. Speaking of donuts, it is 4 a.m. and Kyle's hungry.
Oh God.
Might have to get a coffee and a donut after this.
To get up and race with us. I know as an event, as a series, as virtual race.conf, a global series, we all put in a lot of hours. But I did want to say a big thanks to a number of folks over there at Splunk who made all this fun, the racing action possible, and supported us along the way. Big shout out to Leslie Hasvold and her whole team in the .conf kind of event management group, especially Ben Derringer for his support throughout this whole kind of production of both the virtual race.conf and the Beat the Beards racing series here. And big thanks to the Splunk social team and social and PR under Richard Brewers Hay. Special shout out to Maddie, Max, Lauren Sandlin for getting the word out on all these races so that people could tune in and check out what we're doing. Lucas Mass, big thanks to him for helping get out. And hopefully the folks are enjoying this Twitch stream that Splunk has decided to use. But I also want to say a big shout out to our sponsors that made the virtual race.conf possible. Clearly Splunk was our title sponsor. Big thanks to them, but also the team at Red River, Dell Technologies, Arrow, Intel, and Hippo Digital all jumping in. And we can't forget our friends at McLaren, who not only sponsored one of the races, but actually had a number of their staff, their esports and academy coaches come race with us throughout the virtual racer.conf. And if you missed it, the third race in that race at Laguna Seca, we actually had Lando Norris join us as our grand marshal for the race and kick off the racing action, which was just super cool to talk with him about the realities of esports as it relates to helping a real F1 driver prepare. So make sure you go back and check out those out. But I just want to say a big thanks again to all the team at Splunk that made this possible. Anybody that I missed that you guys want to thank for letting us have all this fun?
Yeah, I want to thank our families, all of them for supporting us, and just the last couple of months we've been heads down in a lot of this work. So just want to thank all of them, and Corey, especially your family, who allowed us to have this beautiful porch to actually race in person together down here in Florida.
Shout out to you, Mom. Thanks.
And also all the neighbors that are watching.
Yeah, thanks to the senior citizens of the Panhandle area who hopefully found this race on my mom's Facebook page. Hopefully you enjoy it, and we're thankful for your viewership.
That's awesome. Corey's out there showing it up in Florida, hey?
Always be closing, boys.
I love it. Yeah, my wife, bless her, I think she gave up on trying to sleep and either put on some earplugs or is waiting for us. We're going to actually go for a morning beach walk and enjoy the sunrise after this race.
Ooh.
There you go.
Enjoy some sand just like Corey did there, sliding off the track.
I did get a little bit dusty.
To my wife, who at this very moment is trying to stop our 3-year-old coming in and taking the wheel from me. So I know that's not easy, especially as he should be going to bed now. So that's a big thank you for me.
I love it. I mean, I would like to make fun of your driving there and have a joke, but candidly, I'm just thankful you're on the track protecting the sanctity of the beards, not letting us get completely annihilated by the entire field here. Jason Stein he's put a little bit more lead on you, but you're staying pretty tight there. That's impressive. Westy, how are things from the front up there, buddy?
Skittish. I went off pretty and almost hit the fence, so I was kind of lucky on that regard. But yeah, it's whilst ever the checkered flag's not out, there's always a chance.
Yeah, watch out for that fence. It is sticky and will not let you go.
I think the big challenge, though, certainly at the moment, is all the back markers. We've got a lot of back markers to pass between me and Jason, and everyone is running relatively quickly. So it's just these incidents that people are accruing that means that they're falling behind. So it becomes a lot more difficult to pass the back markers at that point.
Yes, it does, Westy. I just had an incident with one as well. Corey, would you like to share with everybody what the blue and yellow flag means?
That was you got to see the blue and yellow flag because a fast car was passing you, Kyle. In the words of Ricky Bobby, boy, is it Cole Trickle. Wait, who says it? I don't actually know. Rebens Racing, boy.
That's Cole Trickle, man. Days of Thunder. Come on now.
You knew I was there. You took
As a
that turn
kid
like a
from
joker.
the South named Kyle, anything mellow yellow NASCAR in the early '90s. Come on now, I knew it. Kyle Petty,
Now
race
listen,
car driver.
I need you to go drink a Monster, take a deep breath, and you'll be okay, Kyle.
I do have a photo of me 4 years old, little blonde mullet and all, standing next to my hero Kyle Petty. No, I'll have to find
Yes,
it
you
and
do.
share it with you guys. Yeah.
We'll have to share that on YouTube for
Sure,
sure.
gold.
Oh man, it is
Mostly just a
pure
mullet.
gold. Yeah, it was a mullet too. Let me tell you.
The machine learning mullet. You were starting it off early, huh?
Can I just ask, how long have we got left to race?
14 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not going to
There's-
finish like that then.
You're going to be able to. You can make up some time. If Steiny slips up a little bit, you got a chance, Westy.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That's because I'm in the lead at the moment.
You are. Oh,
Yeah.
hot dog.
So are we saying
Hold on to it. Nobody can beat the Beards.
I have
If
never
someone
won a
beats the
race
beard,
before.
we have
This
to
is
shave
not
our
going to
beards?
happen. I apologize.
Is that what
I
we're
will
saying?
probably cheer if. In fact, no, I can't because I'll wake the baby. I will be cheering without any voice if I end up winning.
Oh my goodness, Wesley! I don't even want to talk to you right now. I just want you to race.
So, Westy, what was your favorite thing about comp?
Shut up.
Leave him
Brett,
alone,
what was your
Brett.
favorite? What was your favorite
Brett,
thing
what was
about
your
comp,
favorite?
Brett?
Racing with all you all right now. Period. Done. Next question.
Next question. Oh, Kyle, what's your favorite thing? I know you got conf in the APJ wrapping up today. What's your favorite thing been so far?
Yeah, we're man, it was a lot of fun to be able to so quickly be able to hit up a lot of sessions. You know, trying to look at the bright side of you know, staying home and all that, and really enjoyed the wealth of information that was freely accessible for everybody. So I think that's probably been my favorite part, is just the quick access to education, and how Splunk has handled that, and making it freely available to everybody. So good on you, Splunk. Appreciate it. How about you, Corey?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, the fact that over 40,000 people have been able to register and take part in it, in an event that, you know, we obviously love it. It's our favorite event of the year, but to be able to have that many people share in the experience this year, I think it's just super cool. You know, as much as we would love to be in person, the inclusiveness of an opportunity like this is so cool, for folks to see and experience and kind of understand the fun that is Splunk. And, you know, just all these, you know, stories of the data to everything platform, people using Splunk to, you know, solve real problems, but also solve fun sort of goofy things, always just leaves me inspired to go tinker more.
Hey, Westy, you want to do a little shake and bake here?
Yeah.
Speaking of back markers,
You do you.
What'd you do, Corey?
oh, I didn't do anything. I was actually thinking Tom West was going to take out Brett.
No, he's
No.
right behind me. I'm just trying to get out of his way.
Protect the beards.
Team Big Data Beard.
Yeah, Team Big Data Beard. That's the one thing we have going for us, is the four of us can actually drive as a team if we played correctly. I've shown good teamwork already for Kyle. He's experienced what teamwork looks like.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely. It was really appreciate you getting me to the beach and enjoying the sand in my tires. Yep. It was wonderful, Corey. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett.
I'm here for you.
And I spun out, letting Westy get around me. I will take that free breakfast now, Westy.
I am gonna say the amount of understeer I am now experiencing is pretty insane.
Corey, I got into your head.
Huh?
Yeah, it's this understeer is a bit tricky today, isn't it, Westy? I'm struggling with it, especially as.
You think that's tire related?
Jason Stein has manually disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Game.
Oh no. I hope it wasn't an internet issue or something. That stinks, because he was being so competitive, had a chance to beat the Beards. Oh, Steiny, we wish you the best, man. Thanks for all your participation throughout. Hopefully everything's okay for you, bud, because you are quite the iRacer, and we've sure enjoyed having you be part of it. So let's take a look now at the standings. Tom West, you are holding it down solidly. Stephen Ludke and Nate McCurvey trying to track you down, but they're still they're 18, 20 seconds behind you. And I'm actually on the tail of Nate McCurvey, but let's be honest, I think I may be 17 laps down.
Nah, I'm looking at my relative. I'm looking at my relative pain, and I'm seeing Tom West is 21 seconds behind me, meaning I am probably gonna get lapped here.
This is unusual. This is different territory for me. But,
buddy, I am so proud that you're protecting the Beards.
Yeah, the beard without a beard is the fastest beard. That's,
turns out no beard is a fast beard.
Absolutely.
More aerodynamic if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Well, Nate McCurvey's right in front of beautifully painted Splunk McLaren. Splunk's brand and creative team did some custom liveries for the virtualracer.conf and the Splunk sponsored cars, and they're absolutely beautiful. If you're into iRacing and you want to race those paints, they're available over at Trading Paints. under the Big Data Beards account, and you can get those yourself and run them on whatever car you want to race. Oh, we've got some action there. Steve Dvorak and I don't know if that was Stephen Ludke may have gotten into it there. But now at least I'm racing in some traffic, having some fun. That's
How's the Ford hanging on there, Corey?
what's that?
How's the Ford hanging on?
It's doing good, actually. I'm actually starting to think I may like this car.
Nice.
Once you figure out kind of its quirky braking, oh, and I just followed Nate McCurvey into the sand. Once you figure out its sort of weird gear ratio, the Ford has an incredibly tall first, second, and third gear that make it totally different than that BMW in the little short range or short ratios to drive. But once you figure it out, it's pretty quick. I'm able to stay up with these McLarens at least.
Whew. I am not doing well. That understeering is catching me and going for a quick garden.
Uh-oh. Well, Tom
The
West,
bombing
you're holding it
today.
down up there, buddy. You're 28 seconds ahead of Nate McCurvey, and looks like
Not
you're
anymore, I'm not.
continuing to. Oh,
Whoa, how on earth did that happen? Come on. There we go.
What happened, Westy?
Tell us what
I
happened.
completely lost control, and when you lose control on the sand in these McLarens, you're going for an interesting ride. And I was quite fortunate that the front pretty much was in front of the back wheels the whole time, so I didn't end up losing too much time, I don't think.
Oh, good for you.
But just
At
onto
least
Kyle's
you're safe.
point, the understeer is adding an extra challenge to this race.
Well, as much as I'm not being competitive in my current standings because of my utter lack of brain power to control my speed in the pits and serve 2 penalties, I'm at least having fun following Nate McCurvey around the track. Those of you who don't know Nate, he's the head of blockchain over at Splunk, one of my favorite Splunkers. He's also the dude that I think 2 or 3 years ago did a Rubik's Cube in like some sub 15-second sort of time frame on the stage in front of all of the attendees. It was quite impressive. Although he did just miss the entrance to the infield, and I was able to sneak past him. So hopefully without too much effect on his car.
Brett, recalling that spot earlier that you ran into the fence, I decided to get up close and personal look at it myself and realized that you can in fact get stuck if you are unlucky.
Did you really?
I did not get stuck. Fortunately, I was able to bounce.
Oh,
But
goodness.
I did have a moment of slight terror.
Yeah, the towing is not fun here. 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, if you can limp your car back, you are better off to limp all the way home, for sure.
I'm making some ground. I'm getting back. I'm in the top 10 again. Look, trying to track down number 9 right now.
Am I still in last place? I think I am. Although it makes me feel good because I'm just steady passing people now.
We are going farming. Corey, how
We're
far
just,
ahead? How far ahead
hot
of
mess.
second place are you?
There's 2 cars between me and him.
Okay.
Just had my crew chief come in, tell us 5 minutes left.
Oh,
So if we
okay.
can hold it together for, what is that, then another 4 or 5 laps? We'll
About that, yeah.
be doing okay. Now, that's a big if there, so we'll see how we go.
It's a strong if statement, my friend. We're gonna keep it together. I'm coming up behind a beautifully painted Freedom vehicle. I can see Yosemite Sam telling me to back off, but I'm not going to listen. Robert, I'm coming for you, buddy.
Now, I think you are 1 lap behind me still, though.
I am, so I need to get ahead of you so that I can get my lap back. So
Yep.
you should definitely let me pass
But
you.
if we think about this, about 5 minutes left, you're going about 10 seconds per lap faster than me. I don't think there's going to be enough time.
I don't, but I can sure try, Brett, and that's what it's about, is putting in the effort.
and you not hitting me going into this turn.
I'm worried about me hitting you. Followed you around that one a little bit too gingerly.
Oh no!
Oh no! Don't take out now.
Oh, Corey!
Oh, you pushed me off the top.
Come on!
You maintain your line.
Hey, children, am I gonna have to separate you two back there?
No, honestly, I was way wide off the racing line. We're gonna see that one in replay. I went wide. I was going wide around you, buddy. Sorry.
Oh, just what we thought was going to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Corey took that beat the beards mentality on a personal level.
Oh, it was too bad.
My braking is not great right now.
We'll say iRacing does have a awesome add-on community. I'm using Crew Chief, which is super helpful. Has a little AI voice come on and tell you all sorts of interesting facts, like who's in first, what position you're in, temperature of the track, pulling in all that data stream. Really enjoying it because it helps keep my eyes on the road. However, I did notice one feature enhancement that I'd like to have, and it is on the steering wheel here in this beautiful McLaren, there is a button that says drink, and I believe that is an automated water spout for me, and if we could figure that out, that would just be a whole nother sense of realism that I'd really like to have. So iRacing, if you're listening, you got your first customer of that integration.
Well, this time I'm going to let Corey go ahead of me, so that way he doesn't run into me this time.
He said disdainfully.
Oh. Thanks, Brett. My bad, buddy.
It's okay.
You're still ahead of me.
I know.
You're still beating me. So
I know.
And can you believe that, folks? In a strange turn of events, Brett Roberts is going to beat Corey twice in this series.
Twice
It is
now.
incredible. I know.
So
it's quite a fall from glory, as I was the supreme beard in the virtual race.conf. I don't know if you guys saw my win at Tsukuba. It was pretty incredible.
So do you think hubris is like one of the reasons for your demise, Corey, or what do you think it is?
I think it could be. I might have been too excited about my own greatness. And you're right, Kyle. It was a mental game. You called the keys to the race. And Tom West, clearly the mental champion today.
All out the post-race data analysis for the previous race at Vegas. We were all rallying around Brett, showing him how to run a faster lap, and he's doing some lightning fast laps compared to last time. So good on you, Brett.
I appreciate it, and thank you, Splunk, for helping me race better.
Exactly. Putting the data to everything platform to work.
Now, if we can only help everyone in Boston learn how to drive.
I think
you were the one who taught me about the Boston bump there a couple years ago.
The unofficial Boston bump.
Yeah, it wasn't firsthand. Let me clarify. You told me about it. You did not show me it, because I would have been mortified if we were in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, this is turning out to be
Well,
Tom
16
West's
seconds
race.
left.
Man, Tom, I am glad you saved your best for last. This is an exciting turn of events that nobody will be able to beat the Beards. Holy cow. I cannot believe this is actually happening. Tom West, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling sorry for Steve because I just did to him what I did to Brett. Sorry, Steve. But yeah, this feels strange. It feels good, but it's surreal. It's not sunk in.
Have you been given the white flag or the checker yet?
I am on the white flag lap.
Oh, congratulations, buddy. This has been a ton of fun. I again want to thank our friends at Splunk for making the Beat the Beards race possible, for sponsoring the virtual race.conf. I'm a big fan of all of you all for tuning in with us, having some fun on iRacing. Big thanks to the racers today for having some fun with us, making the racing possible. And we do want to encourage you to go back and check out. I know there's a crazy amount of content that comes out of .conf every year. But if you have a chance, go check out the virtualrace.conf series. We had some incredible interviews with some great technologists and executives. And definitely go check out the Big Data Beard podcast. Whatever podcast app you have that you like, just search Big Data Beard and you will find our podcast there. And we had some great conversations with, again, our sponsors, especially the team over at Splunk. I call out Kia Benia, super fun conversation with him about the Splunk for IT announcements that were happening at .conf this year. And definitely a podcast to go check out if you've got some time. Tom West, congratulations. Have you got the checkered flag, buddy?
Oh,
How does it feel? Tell me.
it feels great. It feels good that nobody could beat the Beards. So we, as
Beards?
Niall goes and shows his appreciation, it's excellent that no one could beat the Beards.
The Beards remain supreme in the Splunk IRA. Oh! Oh! Well, everybody, I want to say, again, thank you so much for listening. This has been a riotously good time. Make sure to subscribe to the Splunk Twitch channel and the Big Data Beards YouTube channel for more great content. And we hope you have a great .conf. Brett, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thank
Kyle,
you, everyone.
Tom West, thanks, guys. Everybody have a great day.